All right, let's work through this lesson 8.4, which is just a continuation of what we did in class on Friday, which is building a confidence interval for a proportion. All I'm doing in today's lesson is introducing you to this 4C method. The 4C method is just kind of a framework to help you remember all of the parts that you need to include when you are doing an inference procedure. So we will be using this for all inference procedures from here on out for the rest of the school year. So we're going to use the 4C method to construct and interpret a confidence interval for the population proportion P. And then we're also going to do some work where we have to determine the sample size for a particular margin of error. So that's on the back half in the check your understanding. So this is in the check your understanding. All right, so we're going back to our data that we collected at the end of class on Friday. And the question is, what proportion of the earth is covered by water? We're going to investigate this question by taking a random sample of locations on the globe, which we did, and no location should be selected more than once. So we're assuming that nobody's like finger landed on the same location twice. So we ended up doing 50 locations, and 28 of those were water. So our proportion, our P hat is what that should be, is 28 out of 50. Right, which is 0.56. Okay, so that is our point estimate that we are starting with, okay? This asks us then to construct a 95% confidence interval, so they're telling us the percent confidence we want, and we're using it to estimate the proportion of earth that is water. That's giving us our context. This is our context, and that is going to be our parameter of interest. The thing we're interested in, right? Okay, so the first thing this says is to choose a procedure. So this is a new thing. We're going to learn lots of different procedures, different confidence intervals, and different significance tests. And so being able to name them is going to be really important. This is the first one that we have. So this is a one sample because we are only looking at a single proportion. So one sample, and it is a Z interval because we are using a Z for a critical number, and it is for a population proportion. So one sample Z interval for P. You're literally just writing out what it's for. A single sample, what critical value you're using, and it's for a proportion. The confidence level is going to be 95%, and our parameter of interest, since we are creating this interval, these are all kind of safety net things. We're creating this interval for P. That is also going to be our parameter of interest. So it gives you kind of a way to start. So P, and remember that comes from the context. So it's going to be the true proportion of earth that is water. Right? And so that comes directly from our context. All right, so that's the C. That's the first C. The first C is that you're going to choose. Choose the inference procedure and set it up, okay? The second C is check. So we're going to choose, then we're going to check. And check just means we're going to check the appropriate conditions, all right? So we know the conditions that we need to check from the previous day. So I am going to let you take some time to do that, and then on the next video we will continue where we left off.